Hey everybody, it's Stephanie Old World Gamer along with Scott Devin Kane, and welcome back to another episode of the Retro Indie Pixels Podcast.
Back again to give you all of the good gaming news and pleasure that you can handle. Sorry about last week, guys. SDK was like super busy and co-hosting was a little difficult. But hey, you know, it happens. You know, every once in a while, you know, everything has to happen on a Thursday.
And then, of course, my usual co-host, Six, he had a severe weather thing happen, and his power got knocked out for about a week, so he couldn't do anything with that. And my upload was garbage that night anyways, so hey, we didn't miss anything.
Yeah, right. Tell me about it. Better to take a week off than to have a trash podcast, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, but we're back on schedule. We're back where we're supposed to be, doing all the things we're supposed to be doing. So, you know, you got us again. Lucky you.
Lucky you.
Lucky.
I'm wearing this shirt specifically for Mr. Scott Devin Kane's my layer shirt.
Layer, man. Layer. I forgot that you had that, man. I gotta get one of those. I gotta get one of those layer t-shirts.
And actually, I just updated the entire design, so it actually looks better. It's smoother, and it has a better text on it. So the new shirts, and not only that, but after I wash out this shirt the first time, it's gonna be all like shitty. And so for the other site, when you watch that, it's gonna be fun. So yeah.
The most inside joke in the history of anything. So. Just a quick explanation to the layer shirt. It was one podcast, like, oh my god, how long ago, Stefan? This was.
Oh no, this was you playing playing Metroid as a speedrun.
Oh right, so this was like 2 years ago. Okay, so like I ended a stream, and instead of saying later, he typoed because the T is right next to the Y. He typoed layer, and did I never let that shit go? Oh my god. So it turned into like this big meme, and now it's an emote, and now it's a t-shirt. I got my own t-shirt. Look at that. Layer, man. You gotta get yourself
That's
your
dude
own
from City Connection. Just layer, dude.
Layer. Anyway, we got some news coming from SDK this week. Back again. Thankfully, my favorite place to grab news, BG 24/7.
Also, before we start, let me also just say that I am still getting over a flu, so I will be coughing and making gross noises. So I apologize ahead of time. For those into disgusting ASMR, you're welcome. So
my fetish is coughing ASMR. You're my dream.
Oh god, I'll suck up that phlegm.
Anyway, so the first thing we're going to go over, folks, and I hope you're excited for this, and we're going to talk about this to extent.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion pass. So, let's get into this. The Galar region is expanding with the new Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion pass, new DLC adding the new Isle of Armor and the Crown Tundra area. Pokemon Sword and Shield had its shortcomings. It was still in many ways the most ambitious Pokemon game ever released. In many ways, those shortcomings whiffed of a game that was perhaps pushed out the door with a little haste in order to meet certain release date. This may have been true. We'll likely never know. But regardless, we're now getting a bunch of additions to the game as DLC that are really going to help fill it out. Be that in terms of new zones to explore, previously missing Pokemon to catch, even more all-new Pokemon, and a continuation of the story of Sword and Shield. With that said, being Pokemon, this stuff is never strictly straightforward, so here is what you need to know. The Sword and Shield expansion pass release date and price. Okay, here's perhaps the most important single piece of information about the upcoming Sword and Shield DLC, so let's just get it out of the way. The DLC will release in two parts. The first in June of 2020, and the latter in some point in autumn 2020. We'll talk about we'll talk more about the We will talk more about the way the DLC is split in the next few headings. But let's know that the Isle of Armor is the first new area and will be available June 2020. Then the Crown Tundra will release later on. The two DLCs offer two different areas with unique focuses and a variety of different Pokemon to catch. The DLC is available for pre-purchase from Nintendo eShop right now and costs $30 American, $27.99 British for the pair. Because the two new pieces of DLC content come as a sort of pair and directly relate to each other, it won't be possible to buy just one of the two. It's all or nothing. There's some confusion going around here because Nintendo announcement mentioned the DLC being $29.99 each. But this refers to the slightly different versions of the DLC, as there'll be one expansion pass for Sword and one for Shield.
Yeah.
If you want both games, you have to buy both at $29.99 each to access the new DLC content for both games. If you have just one, it'll cost you one round of $30.
Makes sense.
Where do the expansion pass fit into the Sword and Shield story? This is perhaps one of the most interesting and exciting things about the Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC that's releasing as part of the expansion pass. They slot in pretty much anywhere in the story. That means DLC will be ready to give you a new challenge if you're already in the post-game, but even those starting out in Sword and Shield for the first time will find they could jump into the DLC early on. Specifically, you'll be able to head off to the Isle of Armor in June 2020 on any save file that has access to the wild area, which happens very early in the game. No more than a few hours in, no more than a few hours in, even if you're taking your time. From there, you'll be able to go back and forth with the original game's content and the new DLC stuff. Old Pokemon are returning for the new Sword and Shield DLC. Here's the hottest news of the day for the hardcore fans. The DLC will usher in a bunch of older Pokemon that haven't yet appeared in the Galar region and thus were absent from Pokemon Sword and Shield, thanks to the decision to not include the national dex in the game. Pokemon you'll be able to catch thanks to those additions include the likes of Garchomp, Chansey, Magnezone, Horsey, Volcarona, Nidoran, Beldum, and Crobat, just to name a few. In all, 200 classic Pokemon will make their return in the two DLCs that make up the expansion pass. When each Pokemon show up determined whether... when each Pokemon shows up determined by where it'll more naturally fit into the new areas. Some will appear on the Isle of Armor, while others will show up on the Crown Tundra. There will also be some version exclusive differences between Sword and Shield as always. And a good chunk of the 200 newly added Pokemon are legendaries from past titles. Practically every classic Pokemon can be caught in the new zones of the DLC, be it through wild area style raid battles or through other means. If you don't want to buy the DLC, free update is coming to the game too. The free download update allows players to transfer in the new 200 newly added sources from the other sources like Pokemon Go and the soon-to-launch Pokemon Home, which will let you bring in Pokemon from past console titles if you so wish. All new Pokemon debuting in the Expansion Pass DLC on the Isle of Armor and the Cloud Tundra. New areas bring with them new Pokemon, of course, as the series tradition. Even though this is the first ever DLC expansion in the history of the series, it's also adding new Pokemon as if it were any new game. These new Pokemon will take different forms. Some are all new, while others are new forms of old favorites. Here are the ones we know so far. Galarian, Slowpoke, Slowbro, and Slowking. We got a few all-new Galarian forms in Pokemon Sword and Shield, and here's another to add to the list. New regional variant of old favorite Slowpoke. Galarian Slowpoke will appear as part of the DLC and is actually found in an encounter in the game now thanks to an update as a little tease for DLC. Just visit Wedgehurst Station and chat to the new character there for a chance to catch one before the DLC releases. Galarian Slowpoke can evolve into Galarian Slowbro using an item that can only be found in the DLC's Isle of Armor region, out in June, while you can evolve it into Galarian Slowking with an item, you guessed it, only available in Cloud Tundra out in autumn. Kubfu, the new Wushu Pokemon found in the Isle of Armor. Kubfu is an all-new Pokemon found on the Isle of Armor. Interestingly, the official description says that this Pokemon isn't from the Galar region, and is in fact from a faraway land, which, with the mention of Wushu in its martial arts style, calls to mind China. Perhaps the new Pokemon generation will take place in a land based in China, just as Galar was based on the United
Well,
Kingdom.
actually, I got to interject it real quick. It's not found in the Isle of Armor. It's going to be given to you by your new guide, who used to be a Pokemon champion.
Gotcha. There you go. Anyway, Kubfu is a new fighting style Pokemon that you'll be able to meet and catch on the Isle of Armor. Here's the official description. A serious Pokemon dedicated to its training. This Pokemon is hardworking and strives to train both its body and mind. It uses each defeat as motivation, training itself with even more vigor after a loss in order to grow stronger. It has an organ that produces fighting energy in its lower abdomen, and before heading into battle, it will increase this energy through unique breathing techniques and intense focus. Wild Kubfu live in mountainous areas far away from the Galar region today, but it was once a species that called Galar its home. It's noted that in historical texts that the species used to head to uncharted lands with people as they set out to trade or explore. Records suggest that the Kubfu living in faraway mountains today may have descended from Kubfu that became naturalized to the distant lands they visited on their journey. Urshifu, the evolution of
this is pretty cool.
After starting out with a typically cute form first, Kubfu evolves into this martial artist that has two forms, the single strike form and the rapid strike form. Rather than somehow being able to switch forms, which form Urshifu that you get from evolution will depend on the choices that you make on the Isle of Armor adventure with your Kubfu. There's a Gigantamax version of both forms too. So here's all about them. Single strike form Urshifu is fighting in dark. A merciless blow. Urshifu in this form favor battling without holding anything back. When enraged, they will mercilessly attack an opponent until it's utterly crushed. A single strike style Urshifu's movements are often direct and involve rushing forward in a straight line. It will keep its distance from its opponents at first, only to leap in close in an instant to deliver a powerful blow. The rapid strike form Urshifu is fighting water. Furious rapid strikes. Urshifu is in this form maintain a calm demeanor, observing their opponents and measuring their strength while dodging attacks. A rapid strike style Urshifu will use flowing movement in battle to smoothly parry an opponent's moves and then overwhelm the opponent with a flurry of rapid strikes. Calyrex? I'm getting Calyrex, I guess? Calyrex, an all-new legendary Pokemon. There's a new plot of sorts in the new DLC areas as part of an expansion pass, and in Part 2, the Crown Tundra, you'll ultimately be hunting down Calyrex, a new legendary Pokemon for the expansion pass. Calyrex is even the mascot Pokemon for this expansion and will appear on the imagery advertising it. This Pokemon ruled all of Galar in ancient times. Though it appeared delicate and slight, its every move is filled with grace and dignity. It also has extremely high intelligence and is said to see every past, present, and future event. So, there are new Gigantamax forms for your favorite Pokemon. In addition to all the above, the expansion DLC pass will also bring with it new forms of some of your favorite Pokemon in the game. If you ever thought it was weird that you can only Dynamax your starter Pokemon's final evolution and not Gigantamax it, it's weird no longer. Rillaboom, Cinderace, and Inteleon will get Gigantamax forms. Here's all about these three new forms. Gigantamax Rillaboom will focus completely on playing its drums, compelled by the power welling up inside of it. The sound can reach across oceans and can be heard by those living in other regions. It's said that those who hear the beat will begin to dance uncontrollably, overwhelmed by a rhythm that surges up from inside them. Gigantamax Cinderace boasts incredible leg strength. In fact, its legs are said to rank amongst the strongest of all Pokemon. Even without its gigantic Pyro Ball, it can deliver powerful kicking moves that overwhelm other Dynamax Pokemon. And Gigantamax Inteleon has many hidden tools within its body, and these have also been enhanced due to its Gigantamax. Oh my god!
Nictitating membranes.
Nictitating? I'm not going to lie to tell you that I know what that word means. So, nictitating membranes on its eyes not only allow it to measure the distance to the target, They now let Inteleon detect temperature, air pressure, and even humidity. Inteleon is a skilled sniper as well, easily hitting a berry that's rolling around over 9 miles away.
Jesus.
In addition to these three, other Pokemon also get Gigantamax forms, though we're not sure of a full list yet. This includes some of the new additions to the Galarian Pokédex for the DLC, however, so we already know that Blastoise and Venusaur, available in Galar for the first time by this DLC, will have Gigantamax forms. On top of everything else, really important stuff like new Pokemon, the expansion pass will also bring you a range of other additions. There'll be new characters in both expansions, and the characters you'll meet will differ slightly from version to version, just as with Pokemon themselves. So a Shield player will have a slightly different expansion experience to a Sword player. As well as new characters, a bunch of new clothing items will be added, adding hundreds of new potential combinations to dress up.
Now, you were asking me about those two uniforms there with the 227 on it, but the Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, that's what I would say those came from. Now, whether the 227 the number they chose as their trainer number or not.
Maybe, I'm not sure. Wow.
Yeah, dude, like I said, when they showed this, I was... The expansion, it's basically you're getting 2 games added into your current new Pokemon game, which, for those who are unaware, I finally got Switch. And I have Pokemon, so I am very much involved with this now.
Yeah, right. I mean, of all the things that would be going on in this expansion, I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna 100% have to buy this because there's frickin' Eevee clothing in the game, and my wife would kill me if I didn't let her have the ability to dress up like an Eevee. If you think otherwise, you don't know my wife. And this sort of stuff would thrill the ever-living shit out of her. Being able to walk around in Eevee-colored clothing with an Eevee on your shirt.
And I was actually saying to Scott, like...
Guaranteed.
Just before the podcast, it was like less than a week ago that I was playing Pokemon on stream, and I said they should stop making new Pokemon games for the Switch and just incorporate the new stuff into the current game so you feel like you have this big, nice, open Pokemon game to play, as opposed to like, oh, now I gotta change my character to this one and play on this game. Now I gotta go to this character and play on this. It's all in one. That sounds fantastic, and they're doing it, so it's like... Oh, this is fantastic. I'm loving this. This is one of the best things Nintendo's done so far this year. And I know it's only like 9 days in.
I mean, at this point, we're at the point in video gaming that like this should just be the thing now. And bringing out new stuff as DLC in Pokemon, I think we're at that point in playing these games. This is now acceptable. Like, absolutely. And both of these things are only going to be like $15 a piece. I mean, it's $30 because you have to get both, but it's basically $15 a piece for what it's worth, and that's not terrible. Especially if you're going to be getting like a whole slew of new Pokemon, like 200 plus you're talking about. I mean, that alone is like saying, hey, it's like buying another Pokemon game, and here's 200 more things. Plus all of this stuff to do.
Now, the other thing that they didn't really mention in this was that if you look at this Slowpoke picture we have up, never mind the Slowpoke, the girl that's behind it, that's your new, instead of Hop following you around the new DLC, if you have Sword, she's going to be following you around in the new DLC, in the expansion pass. And if you have Shield, you're going to have a dude who, she's also a poison trainer, by the way. And the new trainer that you go against in the Shield version is going to be a dude who does Psychic. And he actually has all of his Pokemon balls revolving around his top hat. So, yeah, they're both pretty cool. This is so good.
I mean, yeah, she's definitely going to be like the new Pokemon waifu looking thing.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell you that right now. That's...
Yeah.
Because she's cute as hell.
I'm glad I got Sword.
Right? That's what I'm going to be getting when I finally get Pokemon.
Oh, you don't have it yet? Oh my god, yeah, that's actually surprising, yeah. Oh, Scott, yeah, but you're going to jump on that and, like, bang it out in, like, a day. Doesn't he? No doubt in his mind at all. Just, oh, yeah, I'm just going to do that.
Probably. I like the fact that the DLC is going to be basically accessible at any point in the story. That's gonna be pretty neat. you can see like the Isle of Armor is gonna have Zawara in it, so I'm gonna be happy with that. Get my Arc.
Isle of Armor is going to be more island-based, and the best thing about this new expansion and these new regions, it's the wild area. Meaning that while you're running around throughout this entire region, you can move the camera around. You're not stuck with a one view and that's it. You can move that camera. And you can enjoy like the regions in a full 3D environment as opposed to being locked in sometimes. That's the one thing I wasn't too keen on. But I mean, other than that, I mean, the wild areas were fantastic. So what they're doing in this expansion is way just So yeah, the Isle of Armor is going to be based basically around almost like an island theming, whereas the Cloud Tundra is going to be mostly mountainous and snow regions. So it's going to be cool having these new environments to actually go into, and specific environments, which means that, in maybe new possible expansion passes, maybe we get a jungle area, maybe we get a desert area. There's so much that they can do now.
Right. And I really like the idea of
Kofu. Definitely.
Like this guy's pretty cool. Like I'm actually curious about how you're gonna be able to like maybe it's like certain moves that you use. Like if you use more like super like one hit moves, like rock smash or something like that.
I am so fucking wet right now.
The single strike, and if you use like moves that have multiple hits or something like I don't know. I'm trying to like move that bullet punch or something like that, or whatever. In those sort of ideas, like maybe that'll turn you, or so maybe it's say like it evolves at level 28, and whichever type of move you use more often, that would be what kind of.
It seems like what they were saying is that depending on what choices you make, which to me is like.
Right. So that's what I'm thinking. So it's like single hit moves like rock smash or pound or something like that might be like those decisions that you make. So it's like if you use moves that have multiple hits more often, you might get the rapid strike one. I'm just spitballing here because I don't know. I didn't get to see any stuff. But for fighting has a lot of moves that have like more than one hit. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's what's going on.
I like the fact that the evolved versions are going to be fighting dark and fighting water.
Yeah, I know. That's really cool. That goes with like the fighting theme really well, where it's like the single strike is like, hey, Dark Hado, I'm gonna just knock you down with one hit, or you're gonna go down with one hit. So, Telerex. Yeah. I definitely, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. I like the Psychic Grass. Like, ooh, man. Psychic Grass. Whoops. There really aren't that many that are Psychic Grass. And no.
See, I don't know enough about all the different Pokemon to be able to say if there's enough of this one or that one. I would have thought that Psychic Ice would have been really cool too, but I know I think Jinx is kind of classified, or Ice Psychic or something maybe.
Jinx is Ice Psychic.
Okay.
You might be right with that.
I think in the later versions they made her or it a Ice Psychic. So yeah, it would be cool to see a Psychic Ice. But Psychic Grass is still pretty cool, especially with like I said, the region being like a tundra region and being snow-filled, so.
Yeah, and his typing is definitely very, very scarce in the game. Of the Psychic Grass types that are in the game, you have Execute and Executor, and you have Celebi.
Oh, wow, really?
That's it. They are the only two current Psychic Grass types.
Jeez.
And I'm not about to use Executor. I'm not a big fan. And Celebi, Celebi ain't bad, but honestly, it's like, I don't want to say it's new typing because obviously it's been around, but it's definitely one of those typings that needs more of that particular typing. You know?
There's obviously not enough Pokemon that have it, because maybe they'll fix it with this one and make it a more stronger Pokemon.
Yeah, it's the same thing as like why I was so damn excited for. Now I'm gonna brain fart on its name. Corviknight. Sorry. because, hey, I have another steel flying bird? Oh, hell yes! If you don't know, my favorite Pokemon is Skarmory, and flying steel, you don't got many of those. I'm just gonna say. So it's definitely gonna be one of those, if Skarmory doesn't show up in the game, which I don't think he's going to, I can just be like, hey, I got Corviknight, have my flying steel bird. Alright. So, Calyrex definitely, Psychic Grass, super happy.
And the really cool thing is that you're going to be mostly hunting for legendary Pokemon in the Crown of Tundra. And Scott, did you even know that they've updated some of those legendaries, like the 3 bird Pokemon originals? They gave them Galar region looks. So, yeah. Oh yeah, and they look fucking amazing. Zapdos and Moltres and Articuno, yeah. They showed all 3 of those during the direct. Their artist sketches, and I was just like, oh my god. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they've done some of the other legendaries. They've redone some of them as well, so...
Like, I'm kind of like, for me, it would be like the legendary dogs that I want to see, like Suicune, Raikou, and Entei. I want to see what those guys
They're in there, but I'm not sure if they've changed them. I think they might have changed at least one of them, but...
I hope so.
I remember seeing Entei for sure, but I don't know if they made any changes to them, per se, so...
Yeah. I've always been like a super fan of Suicune, so it's like, I want to see something new, man. I want to see a new Suicune.
And you know what?
See how cool he looks.
Entei is a fire type, right?
Entei
Even though he's a fire type, he looks like he would be fit in so well to the Crown Tundra. Like, he has that shaggy fur look, so it looks like he would fit in there so good.
Yeah. So, I mean, and also we have the new Gigantamaxes, so, like, you got Rillaboom, Cinderace, and Teleon as your new Gigantamaxes. I mean, we have the picture of what the Gigantamax Rillaboom looks like.
Really
looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. It does look pretty cool, so... And then you got the new clothing, which will be, like, you know, the thing that I'm gonna be forced to buy this one for my wife because TV clothing, you know. But yeah, you guys have a lot of stuff to look forward to for like this new expansion. So, it looks so good. So June 2020 is when you guys are going to be getting this new stuff. So once we know new information, we are going to absolutely let you guys know anything that we get for the DLC stuff for sure. We're definitely going to be keeping our eyes on it, and SDK is going to have the game by then. Don't worry, SDK is probably going to have the game in a few weeks, but you know what I'm saying. Alright, so moving on to Doom and Doom 2 update, adds, quick save, 60 FPS, add-ons, and more. A large update is available today for Doom and Doom 2. Both games have received an update today, which contains curated add-ons such as Mega Wads and General Marrow's Sigil. The update also includes 60 FPS support, quick save functionality, and quality of life adjustments. Add-ons can be downloaded for free from the main menu of games. This is an initial batch of suggestions on the best WADs to include for the future will be taken into account. Both titles are also available from today for PC users via the Bethesda site launcher. If you already own these games on Bethesda.net, you'll see 2 new games in your library: Doom Classic, the 2019 release, and Doom 2, the 2019 release. If you're just buying them for the first time, you'll receive both the original DOS-based release and the new Bethesda.net enhanced versions, which include the new add-on menu. For more details on the new features, fixes, and optimizations being made to the pre-releases, we're going to check out some patch notes. Add-on support, so it says add-ons can now be downloaded and played from the main menu. We will continue to add content that is a mixture of official add-ons as well as some of the best community episodes and Mega Wads released for the original game. We've curated the initial list and we'll be asking you guys for your picks for the best community-made WADs soon.
Why fucking WADs, man?
That's what they were... Okay,
it just sounds so bad. Oh man, what are the best community episodes of Mega Wads? Also vote on your best community made WADs soon. I'm sorry.
Why were they called WADs? Oh, the WAD stands for Where's All the Data.
Okay.
So basically, it's where all the data is in Doom. There you go. So that's why they're called WADs. It's an acronym. WADs. Shut up, children. You two, jeez. 60 FPS support. Used to run on 35 FPS. Now everything's at 60. They added aspect ratio option, stretches the display vertically to match the original 4:3 aspect ratio that the game was intended to be played in. They've added quick save and loads, which pause the game and press R, R1, RB to immediately save where you are and unpause the game. Load your quick save by pressing the game and then pressing L, L1, or LB. Added level select, which is, pick an episode, map of difficulty of your choosing, and immediately play on it. They added a weapon carousel. You no longer have to cycle through every weapon to get to the one you want. Press previous or next weapon and highlight the weapon you want, and it will swap immediately to the selected gun. Added quick weapon select, so the directional pad can now be used to quickly swap between up, giving you the shotgun or super shotgun, right for the chain gun, down for the rocket launcher, and left for the plasma gun. They added overall brightness and level brightness. Turn up overall brightness to make the colors brighter, but if that isn't enough, you can also raise level brightness to change the brightness of the lights in the world. They added a random sound effects pitch toggle, so, if you want to be able to turn off randomized sound pitches during playback, which was a feature preset in the early versions of the original Doom, and a new split-screen HUD. A minimal HUD will be used when playing split-screen multiplayer. The bottom status bar is removed, allowing more room for the game to be displayed in. So they changed the health graphic. The pill that has been changed into a green plus, making the graphics closer to their original appearance. And they changed the Wolfenstein secret level. Enemies in Wolfenstein level have been restored to the original DOS releases. The original textures and enemy audio have been re-added to the level, but with censored references removed. With the censored references removed. I'm not really sure what that means.
Oh, like Wolfenstein?
Well, the secret Wolfenstein level in Doom. I'm not really sure what the censored.
If they had like swastikas and stuff there, maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's
what I'm thinking. It was probably censored at one point, sort of like.
Yeah, because the original Wolfenstein level for Doom 2 did have all of that stuff in it, so that does make some sense.
Yeah.
So they have performance optimization, which has been a software render have been made in order to better support 60 FPS, increased battery life. Game rendering resolution on the Switch version of displays at 640 by 400 to support 60 FPS and improved battery life. Improved behavior when starting the game out of sleep mode. There still may be cases that causes the game to lock up after awakening, and sped up variations of UI animations to make navigating through menus quicker. Couple fixes that fix an issue from the original DOS release where map objects would not correctly track the player after loading a saved game. This also fixes an occasional crash which loading a save game with an active BFG projectile. Oh, jeez. I never even thought of trying that. What would happen if you had like a BFG blob going on and you saved your game and reloaded it? That'd be interesting. Fix an issue where the game would skip ahead several ticks after unpausing. Fix an issue where attract mode demons would desync, causing demo playback to deviate from the original DOS release. That'd be interesting. Because like all of those things, like the original the attract mode for those games, were all just like preset stuff, and the monsters in active mode, attract mode, just basically reacted how they would as if like you were playing the game, but the Doom guy was always preset to do specific stuff, so you could like mess with the game and cause like specific monsters to show up in the attract mode which weren't supposed to be there. And make the attract mode like glitch the fuck out. So the trophy for When I'm With You for beating every level on Nightmare in co-op mode has been fixed and will now be awarded properly. And then there's other little technical issues or technical info we're not going to go over. But I like the fact that they that id Software still cares enough about their original DOS games to just give them updates. I mean. That just says something about that. Yes, WADs, Stefan. But anyway, that says something about the legacy of Doom, about like how influential it is and was on video gaming as a whole. That just says, hey, this game that's been around for 30 plus years, or roughly 30 years at this point, is going to get an update. Like, what does that say about the game? I mean, come on.
A down day.
Right? So, anyway, so you can look forward to all this new Doom stuff right now. So, go check that out. So, the other Pokemon thing that I was going to talk about is Pokemon Home launching next month. Game Freak has confirmed that Pokemon Home will go live this February. As part of today's special Pokemon Direct, Game Freak revealed a few more details about Pokemon Home. Pokemon Home is essentially an evolution of Pokemon Bank, a cloud service that stores players' Pokemon and allows them to transfer Pokemon to Sword and Shield. Pokemon Home is not tied to a single console and will be available to anyone through a smartphone app. When the service launches, players will be able to bring forward Pokemon stored under their account Pokemon Sword and Shield for now, assuming the Pokemon are part of the Isle of Armor and Isle of Tundra expansions. Pokemon Home supports transferring from existing Pokemon Bank, as well as Pokemon captured in the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu Eevee and Pokemon Go. Keep in mind that not all of them can be brought into Pokemon Sword and Shield. More Pokemon Home details will be released between now and the app's launch next month. This would be... I don't know.
I'm surprised that this was your last Pokemon thing and not the new Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah, well, the thing is about Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is I know nothing about it because I've actually not played any of them. So I don't. I know. I haven't played a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I know. But anyway,
call yourself a Pokemon.
Right. Listen, I've played like the Pokemon Match 3 game on my phone. I've done all that stuff, so whatever. But anyway, I feel this would be like a really great way for them to be able to bring some of the older stuff into the game, or like maybe some of the Pokemon that aren't already in the game would be it's like a good way to integrate them in. But I guess that's not really what's going to be happening here. So it's like the only ones that you can bank are the ones you can already get in the game. So it's like, sure.
Here's a question. Do you remember when we initially done the Pokemon Sword and Shield before it released? And they said, oh, everyone, we're not going to have all the same Pokedex because, we're not going to have all the Pokemon and all this other stuff. But with the new expansion pass, they're adding in 200 more. So that's basically an entire Pokemon game there. So I'm just wondering did they just word that in a way like, oh, it's going to be a different Pokedex and it's not going to be the same because not all the Pokemon are there, but we will get them all eventually.
It does. I mean, it does kind of sound like that's what's going to end up happening.
I hope
and
so.
For what it's worth, you could have all this stuff on Pokemon Bank already and just transfer them to Home and be like, all right, well, I already have all of these Pokemon from other games, so now that they're back in the game, I don't have to go out and bother catching any new ones. So, boom, I've got this one already. There you go. So, I guess that's something you can do, where you could, like, say, hey, here are these Pokemon that aren't in the game. Once they actually release into the game, boom, I got it already. So that's what you can do. So, you got... Oops. So you got that to look forward to this February, and I'm sure like they do what they did with Pokemon Bank and all that stuff. You're gonna get like special stuff that will come along with it and whatnot. So it's definitely gonna be worth looking into. All right, so moving off of the Pokemon subject, Magic Legends reveals Diablo-like gameplay in its first footage. Magic Legends, one of several Magic the Gathering games announced at the Game Awards in December, has produced its first gameplay trailer. Magic Legends was initially released with the help of CGI trailer with developer Cryptic Studios later announcing the game is an action RPG. The developer has now released a first look at Magic Legends gameplay, and it turns out it's very much a Diablo-style action RPG.
Ooh.
The footage was released via Game Informer as part of the magazine's cover story for January. Although the action game unfolds in real time from a top-down perspective, players will be able to build a deck of 12 cards, 4 of which confer active abilities. As you can see in the video, cards get cycled as you play. There's still a lot we don't know at this point, but it's an interesting setup. You can see for yourself in the video. Magic Legends is free to play and will be available later this year on PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Free to play.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting.
I hope it's just not an MMO, that's all.
I think that they have an MMO in the works, they said, but maybe that's what they were talking about with this. I'm not sure. I don't know if they were the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I have played Magic the Gathering since 1995. I have played Diablo since probably around that time. And all of the different games that have come out since then, you know, Diablo 2, Diablo 3. And I am a big fan of TCGs. I am a big fan of Diablo-style action RPGs. So you think I'm going to play this?
Yeah, I can see us doing a 2-player round of this, at least, Scott.
I might.
I mean, if it's anything like Diablo 2, this could only be quality right. Commentary and fun.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, Jesus. See, some of the things that we did during that Diablo 2 stream is just like, I still, like, every once in a while just go check up on some of that stuff just for a laugh, you know what I'm saying? But, Diablo-style Magic the Gathering game, yeah, I'm probably going to play this. And I am using the word probably sarcastically. I am 100% going to be playing this.
Oh, yeah.
So once I get a little bit more news on it, it's coming out this year at some point. So they said so. Probably later on in the year, I'll let you guys know when we have a release date or any new information on it.
Anything like Diablo 2, this
I'm
could only be
kind of.
quality.
I actually didn't get a chance to check the trailer, but some of the stuff. I mean, now that I'm looking at it, it actually looks pretty good. It's definitely in the style of Diablo 3, I would say, in like that art style. So, and I'm also my only gripe about this is that they say you're going to have it build a deck of 12 cards, 4 of which confer active abilities, and then cards get cycled as you play. So it's like, that's like my only gripe, or it could be like, hey man, I really need an AoE ability right now. Oh, all 4 of my cards are skill shots. That's like, when it comes to Diablo and games like that, it's always like, hey, I always have this ability ready for me whenever I need it. So like a slew of cycling abilities where it's like sometimes you don't want an AoE, sometimes you'd rather have single target DPS, but maybe you won't have that available. You know, I'm spitballing things out here that like could like.
Oh God, yeah. All I know that could be possibilities. I was having a laugh at him before there in chat.
But we'll have to see how it's set up, whether or not like the cards are guaranteed cycle or something.
It's free to play, so at the very least we'll try it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
anyway, a new Nintendo Switch model is reportedly launching this year. Nintendo is reportedly working on an updated model of its Nintendo Switch, with plans to release sometime this year, according to Taiwanese publication Digitimes. News of the updated Switch model comes from Digitime sources on the upstream supply chain. The new Nintendo Switch will apparently begin production at the end of the first quarter in 2020. That likely means that sometime in March, before it gets an official release in mid-2020. It has previously it has previously been rumored for some time that Nintendo has been planning a Switch Pro, which could feature a bigger screen, high resolution gaming. Likewise, last year, Wall Street Journal writer Takashi Mochizuki reported 2 new models of Switch were in the works. Still, details of the new model are pretty scant. Alright, so here's the thing. as long as it doesn't, like... So if it's like Switch Pro, okay, cool. As long as, like, publishers don't do things like only available on Switch Pro, I'm fine with this.
Yeah.
Because my Switch is connected to my monitor, and if I need high-resolution gaming, I got it. You know, hey, it's on my screen. Everything looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
So, if they're only talking about, like, a high-res on, like, the actual, you know, this screen thingy, I get it. So if it's only for, like, for this, that's fine. You know? As, you know... And again, like I said, I don't want there to be only for Switch Pro games coming out. Because I think that will be, like, a whole isolation of the people who already have a Switch. So just don't do that, Nintendo. Just don't do that. Just be like, oh, hey, these games are going to play in higher quality, have a bigger screen, and all that sort of stuff, like extended battery life, blah, 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 all that stuff. Just don't make games exclusive for it. That's all. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
So, moving on, Overwatch 2 may be coming this year, according to deleted tweet. Overwatch could be closer than we originally assumed. Since the moment Overwatch 2 was revealed at BlizzCon last year, Blizzard avoided talking about a possible release date. This led us to believe the sequel may actually be early in development, with a long way to go. This is not what PlayStation Brazil believes, however. The company's official Twitter issued a tweet saying that Overwatch 2 is coming to PS4 in 2020. The tweet has since been deleted, but not before Voxel grabbed a screenshot. Overwatch 2 Giga PS4 2020. That's all I can read because I can't read that. Anyway, we have no way of knowing whether the tweet was removed because the information was inaccurate or because someone pushed the button too early. Given the structure of Overwatch 2, it could honestly go either way. Blizzard typically starts taking release dates closer to planned what? Oh my god. Starting over. Blizzard typically starts talking release dates closer to planned launch, but we've yet to hear any official word about the game since BlizzCon. With that in mind, Blizzard did say at the time that Overwatch 2 is at least a year out, which puts it sometime around November this year. At least, being the operative word, of course. So here's the thing. Do I want Overwatch 2? Yep. Do I want it in 2020? Nope. Here's why. I've been over this story before. I've told you guys this before, and I'm just going to go over it again. I was a beta tester for Warcraft 3: The Frozen Throne. Alright. So, they had not given a release date while we were beta testing it, because it was still, you know, it was beta testing. So we were just trying to find things that were good with the game, things that were wrong with the game, you know. But it was a few weeks, like 4 or 5 weeks into beta testing, and we're like, alright, this game is fun, but there's so much wrong with it. And then Blizzard goes, hey, Warcraft 3, The Frozen Throne is going gold. Like, but why though? But there's so much wrong with it. What are you doing? And then just the game releases not just a few weeks later, and all the crap that we were complaining about was still in the game.
But why though?
So, moral to the story. It's the same damn shit that we say in this podcast all the time. If you have to take extra time, take extra time.
Yeah.
Don't push a game out just because somebody says that a particular time of the year is when this is supposed to come out.
Yeah.
You know.
Don't rush it because you need to make that extra change now because this came out, right, or another game came out, or you need to get people over at another studio or something. No, take your time, get it out when you need to get it out, and then everyone's still going to be happy. Everyone's still going to play it. I mean, Plus, there's too many good games coming out already, so Scott won't have time.
Right? See? I ain't gonna have time for that. Absolutely. So, anyway, I'm actually really hoping this was just a button press too soon sort of thing, where it's like, nah. Like, we might have said that we're hoping for 2020, but that's where the tweet came from. It's like, hey, we're hoping for 2020 November. Hey, coming out, blah, blah, blah. No. Just, if you have to push it back, please push it back. Because I want this game to be good. Because I like Overwatch. I love the lore. I love the characters. I suck at the game. But I still like to play it because it's fun. So, if this game is going to be more around the lore of the characters, I'm super happy with that. Because I don't know if you know me, but I'm a sucker for Blizzard game lore. I'm a huge sucker for Blizzard game lore. You know? So, take your time, Blizzard. Make it good. That's all I have to say. Moving on. Super Mario Maker 2 is now letting you upload 100 levels. You can now upload even more levels to your Super Mario Maker 2 account. Nintendo is celebrating passing over 10 million user-created sources in Super Mario Maker 2 by granting all players more upload slots. All owners of the game can now have up to 100 levels to their name, an increase from 64. The new course limit should help creators who frequently upload new levels. Nintendo announced this news in a tweet shown below. Just before the holiday break, Super Mario Maker 2 received an update that added playable Link, his Master Sword, a speedrun mode, and a host of new enemies and objects for use in courses.
A speedrun mode.
I know.
I.e., hey, now you can upload 100 levels, Pangus, so that people can speedrun your really difficult fucking levels.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
This is another game that I regrettably don't have a copy of yet, but will eventually, because it's Mario. It's fun, no matter what you do. So, there are, like M4 is saying, there are so many really super talented Mario Maker creators, and limiting them, like, I mean, 64 levels is a lot, don't get me wrong, but I'm sure some of these guys who spend a lot of time and have, like, basically, like, YouTube or, like, Twitch things about upload stuff like that, now have, like, almost 50% more levels to upload now. I mean, we went from 64 to 100. That's 36 new levels. That's more than 50% more. So, there you go. So, all of these super talented and super genius Mario makers now have 36 more slots to make their levels for, which is great.
Yeah.
And it definitely, it opens up to far more creativity, far more Kaizo levels, far more Panga levels, you know, all that good stuff. So, you know, lots of Mario, man. Lots of Mario. So, moving on, this is something that I know a few of my friends are interested in. The English dub of the Ni no Kuni movie moves to Netflix this month. The Ni no Kuni movie will be releasing for Netflix later this month. It is the English dub of the film originally released in Japan in August 2019.
Ooh.
It was directed by Studio Ghibli animator Yoshiyuki Momose, who worked on the film Spirited Away. Momose also worked on both games in the Ni no Kuni series. In the film, two average teams will go on a magical quest to save their life from a friend and her save the life of their friend and her counterpart from another world. Apparently, love will complicate the journey. Doesn't it always? You can watch the trailer for the film on the link in the article there. If you're interested in the movie but not a fan of the games, you'll be pleased to know that a third title is in the works. Details are still pretty scarce at the moment, but Level 5 confirmed the news back in July. The latest game in the series, Ni no Kuni 2: Revenant Kingdom, was released in 2018. The original game, Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch, was released for Switch in September 2019 alongside the PS4 and PC remaster. I haven't played the games myself, but I heard that they're really good. I heard they were super good. So I might eventually be able to get into it because it's something, you know, it's RPGs and stuff like that. So, you know.
I'm not really looking forward to an English dub. I'd rather have just English subtitles because usually the Netflix dubs are kind of really meh.
Right.
So
you got that going for you. And last article that I have from VG247 is the Untitled Goose game has sold 1 million copies. A quick bit of news for you. Untitled Goose game has passed 1 million downloads. In just 3 months, UGG has passed 1 million copies sold, according to its publisher Panic. Released in September 2019 for the Switch and PC, House Zangy game about a kleptomaniac goose was released on PS4 and Xbox on December 17th. It also available through Xbox Games Pass. The 1 million figure does not take into account Game Pass downloads. If you're just getting started with the game, check out G247's guide. That's a lot, man. It's 1 million downloads after like 3 months, especially for like an indie publisher. Man, how exciting does that have to be?
There's already a speed run, and I'm pretty sure they done it at GDQ.
Oh yeah, I've seen a couple guys who have done like Untitled Goose game speed runs. And some of these runs are just so amazingly hilarious.
I want this game just because I can have fun. That's the I don't even care about speedrunning it. I don't care about even finishing it. I just want to go in there and fuck with people. It looks so much fun.
Hey kid, how you doing? You like your hat? Fuck you.
Right, or where they come out with the ice cream cone and like he can go up behind her and just make her immediately drop it on the ground. What a jerk. I love it.
So, yeah, I mean, I have not played it myself, but the game just looks like it's an absolute hoot to play, or maybe it's an absolute honk to play.
Honk.
Hey, fuck you. So anyway, 3 months, 1 million copies of this game. Good job, guys. Good job. So anyway, moving on to the last couple articles that I have brought to you guys from
Just don't have mirrors. Do it again.
These articles are brought to you from Destructoid.com. Anyway, Steam is finally giving soundtracks some much-needed love. You can now buy and download a soundtrack without the base game. In a long overdue change, Valve is oh my god. I'm okay, folks. I promise you. I promise you. I'm not having a stroke. I'm not having a heart attack. I'll get this going.
Not yet.
In a long overdue change, Valve is improving the way soundtracks are handled through Steam. Under the previous structure, soundtracks on Steam were classified internally as DLC, a decision that initially made some sense but has proven to be prohibitive for developers and users alike. Going forward, developers can now use a new soundtrack app type. Here's what that means for us. Customers can now purchase soundtracks without purchasing the base game. Customers can now download soundtracks without downloading the base game. Customers can browse and manage their owned and downloaded soundtracks directly from the new Steam library. Customers can configure a Steam music directory where all soundtrack content will be placed, rather than having to locate it in subdirectories of the game content.
That makes sense.
Developers can upload and manage soundtrack content entirely through the partner site without using Steam Command. And the developers can sell soundtracks where the base game itself is not available for sale on Steam. Buying and listening to music on Steam is going to be much less of a chore, in other words. Aside from those user experience fixes, Steam is promising several new features for soundtracks. Developers will be able to incorporate multiple quality levels, so users can opt in for high-quality audio files. And there's the ability to offer bits of associated content, including album art and liner notes. On the front end, Valve is also rolling out a minimalist UI for soundtracks in the Steam library. Existing Steam soundtracks won't be automatically upgraded with the new features, but Valve is providing developers with a conversion tool to make the DLC to soundtrack transition easier. This is an initial release of these features for partners, the company explained in a post to Steamworks Development Group. We're planning on launching these features in a wider way, including a sale event on January 20th. We're excited to release, even in this early state, we can get more feedback from both partners and customers and figure out what makes sense to do next. This is another one of those things that I feel should have just been a thing a long time ago.
Yeah.
But this is good though, because that's like, oh man, this game is so good. The soundtrack is so good. You can download the soundtrack for $4 or something like that, and just listen to the music, and that might like incentivize some players who are like, this supposedly has a really good soundtrack. You know what? I'm gonna sample this and see what I like. Oh man, this music's really good. Maybe I want to go buy the game now.
This is basically allowing video game composers to finally have a place where they're brought to the forefront. It's becoming more of a mainstream thing, because game music is fantastic. There's a lot of composers, like, look back from the retro days to now, like, there is so much good quality music. And for those who like think that the shit on the radio today is music, I dare you to ask most of those people to play an instrument, and most of them cannot do it. I can guarantee you. So, you know, what these composers have done and what they can do, and, you know, it's fantastic, man. Like, the music in some of these games, especially with the indie games that are coming out. I mean, you expect to have good music in AAA titles. You get orchestras, you get, you know, big professional studios and stuff. But when you get some guy who's just like, yeah, I've got my own little setup in my basement, putting off a soundtrack that sounds better than a AAA title, then yeah, someone like that needs to be, you know, brought forth for everyone to experience.
Yep, and especially like a lot of games that I have played recently have had just some absolutely phenomenal soundtracks. Like Hollow Knight's soundtrack is pristine.
Yep.
Bloodstained's soundtrack was really good. It was like the one portion of the game that was just like, there's nothing wrong with this. This is like 10 out of 10 would listen again, you know? And even for a game that was like as like strangely gory and action filled as it was, Blasphemous, that soundtrack was so good. Yep. It set the theme for every single place you were in, and it did so perfectly. Like every place that you ever went, the theme that was going along with it just made everything so good.
Yeah.
And like there are some action games which have some like really good boss soundtracks, or you know, those sort of things.
Hotline Miami has a fantastic soundtrack.
Yeah.
Castle in the Darkness.
Castle in the Darkness. Oh my god.
Yeah, I can't stop.
If you want to hear what the definition of an 8-bit music masterpiece is, go play or listen to Castle in the Darkness.
Yeah.
Probably of all of the 8-bit soundtracks I have ever listened to, Castle in the Darkness is by far the best I have ever listened to.
Yeah.
And there is nothing even close. So
yeah,
just throw that out there. So
pretty fun.
it's really good. But this is a huge step in the right direction for all of these, you know, music composers that get like so little just recognition when it comes to the work that they've done. And now that people are going to be able to go, oh hey, you know, I can go buy the soundtrack for this game. I might not want to play the game, but I heard the soundtrack's really good. You know, that's the thing. When it comes to, you know, let me just put it to an example. I've listened to some Fire Emblem music, and they have some pretty decent stuff. Yeah. But I would never play Fire Emblem.
Well, but it's not your type of game.
Right. So that's the thing. There may be games that are outside of my comfort zone when it comes to genre, but it's still going to have that music that I want to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives me the availability of saying, oh, these tactical games that I'm watching other people play, because, you know, I like the story that comes along with it, but I'm not good at the game. That's just saying, hey, now I can download these soundtracks that I was listening to and just listen to them. So,
yeah,
very good step in the right direction, Steam.
Yeah, I'm loving that.
All right, so I'm going to throw something out here, folks. This article is a little guilty pleasure.
Oh yeah.
And I hope I'm not going to get judged for this. I don't have a Yuri keychain on my key ring. So, Doki Literature is receiving a cute new content in 2020. Pick up your pens and get your kawaii on, as Team Salvado's Dan Salvado has revealed that fresh new content is ahead to 2017's PC release Doki Literature Club. Speaking on Twitter, Salvado announced that he wishes to make 2020 a satisfying year from a creative standpoint, first by releasing new content for the notorious anime tale before continuing work on their next visual novel. Released back in 2017, DDLC is an American-made visual novel authored in the style of Japanese dating sims. In the story, a young protagonist joins their high school writing club as a request of a close friend. The player then interacts with each of the club members using poetry and specific wordplay in order to win their hearts. It's well worth checking out, even if you aren't particularly a fan of the genre.
Mm-hmm.
DDLC can be downloaded for free from Steam, or purchase in a $10 fan pack that includes wallpaper, digital art booklet, and the DDLC soundtrack. Alright, so, for those of you who don't know about DDLC, no, it's not a dating sim. Kind of is, but it's not. And, I can't not talk about the game without giving it spoilers, okay? So, sorry for, like, the slight spoiler here. It starts as a dating sim, yes. But it takes a drastic turn halfway through. And I will say, because of the story, because of how everything went, it is the one horror game I have finished. One. And I'm also talking in the perspective of the last couple years. I have finished Clock Tower, and those are other things from my YouTube. But
yeah.
DDLC, if you haven't seen it yet, it's free. Go play it. Hate yourself for the first couple hours, and then realize the absolute fucking mind fuck this game does to you. I really, oh man, you have no idea how much I love DDLC. It's the one guilty pleasure thing that I'm willing to admit. You guys don't want to see how many DDLC shirts I own. I own a bunch. I think I own 4.
Oh, hey Scott, let me have a look at that retro question you got.
I am ashamed to say that I don't have any retro questions.
It's alright.
But I have 4 DDLC shirts.
Jesus.
So, I might like the game a little bit. And honestly, I purchased this sort of stuff, like, you know, the shirts and my Yuri keychain that I really like a lot. It is 100% to support Team Salvado. Because it's one of those things where it's like, hey, the game's free, so how can I support them? And that's how I support them.
That's a good way of doing it.
Because it's like, hey, I'm buying your merch because I like the game that you have given me for free. So, what better way to support you and your company and everything that you've given me for free than buying your merch? So there you go. So, that, I'm not ashamed to say. I bought your merch, so I'm looking forward to this new stuff that you're going to bring to DDLC, and I am definitely going to be playing it on my stream and not feeling guilty about it. So I see you judging me, Steve. Screw you. Anyway, moving right along. Arcade1Up is bringing back NBA Jam with online multiplayer.
Jesus.
Yep. Featuring NBA Jam Tournament Edition and NBA Hang Time. Arcade1Up is showing its new range of 3/4 scale arcade cabinets at CES 2020, and one of them, an online-enabled NBA Jam machine with Tournament Edition and Hang Time, should be a crowd pleaser. It's just one of those classic lightning in a bottle games that people want to hold on to forever. The NBA Jam arcade cabinet isn't available for pre-order yet, but we have a few promising details. The big one, the original team rosters are intact, minus some players Arcade1Up couldn't get the rights to, according to Senior Vice President of Licensing and Business Development, John Diamond. From NBA Jam Vanilla, we currently don't have the rights for 3 players. 3. For TE, we have about 90% of the OG roster, and Hang Time about 80 to 85% of the OG roster. It's likely to ship this way with the possibility to update the OG rosters as we continue to attain rights. The other head turner, these cabinets have free online multiplayer support for all 3 games.
That's pretty awesome.
If that runs reliably, it'll certainly sweeten the pot.
Boom shakalaka!
And there's a couple of screenshots of, the cabinets and what they're going to look like, which, yep.
Whoa, hold on. These cabinets are actually 4 control sticks on them?
Yep.
Which means
you can
that
play.
if you modify it, I mean, nothing.
Bro, local 2v2 on your own home NBA Jam cabinet.
Who am I going to play with? Just me and
I'm
Robin.
just saying. Arcade1Up has several other arcade cabinets lined up for the Tech Lusting Consumer Electronics Show taking place this week in Las Vegas. There's a new Burger Time cabinet with Karate Champ, Caveman Ninja, and Bad Dudes. A sit-down Star Wars cabinet, a Frogger cabinet with Time Pilot, and a Golden Axe cabinet with Shinobi, Alter Beast, Wrestle War, and Golden Axe: The Revenge of Death Equals Adder.
Death Equals Adder, what do you mean?
I can't read that name without having the equal in there. Anyway. The company is also teaming up with Zen Studios for a line of 4th scale digital pinball machines. According to IGN, titles from Bally Williams and other big names in the space are on the docket. Oh,
dude.
My God. Okay, so NBA Jam, TE Edition, and NBA Hang Time, all in the same cabinet, all able to be online. Oof. Oh my goodness. And then they have those other things, like a Burger Time cabinet with Karate Champ, Caveman Ninja, and Bad Dudes.
I'm a huge fan of Karate Champ Arcade.
Dude. Like, Karate Champ was like Street Fighter before it was Street Fighter, man. Like, hell yeah, man. So, there's a lot of exciting things coming up from Arcade1Up. And, like, oh man, I love NBA Jam. I played, all of those. Like, NBA Jam, Tournament Edition, Hang Time. I played all of them. I mean, in my local arcade, when we had NBA on NBC, I had, the most wins on that machine, and it wasn't even close. I played a lot of those sort of basketball games, like the 2v2 basketball games in the same style as NBA Jam. I played all of those games. I love those sort of basketball games. I'm not a big fan of like the NBA 2K, blah blah blah. When it comes to like basketball, I want the stupid big super jams.
Downtown.
I want to be on fire. I want to push somebody and make them fly 70 fucking feet. That's what I like, man. When it comes to basketball games, you know, I want to be like, hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. You know what I'm saying? I want that sort of stuff. You know, I want to be able to do some sort of sky pirouette and flip and boom and smash the backboards. I want super cheat codes and look like Bill Clinton. You know, that sort of
you
stuff.
want to slam dunk from the opposite side of the...
Yeah, tournament edition, dumb stuff. You know what I'm saying? Super dunk. Woo! Whoa, he just flew 120 feet in the air and jam. I get excited for this sort of stuff, man. It's like me and NFL Blitz too, man. Oh my god.
I mean, I would love to have an arcade cabinet. Any kind of arcade cabinet would be fantastic. I just don't know where the fuck I put it. I need to move some of this shit out of here.
Oh, tell me about it. I'd find room though. I would sure.
Oh yeah, I'd definitely find room. There'd be no doubt about that.
Absolutely. Anyway, so moving on. Capcom says nothing will stop Resident Evil 3 from launching in April. Resident Evil 3 Remake has an outrageously short marketing cycle. Announced less than a month ago. Sorry, I saw the 3 in the first line. It's one of those weeks, guys. Sorry. Announced less than a month ago. It's already releasing in early April. That's not changing come hell or high water. Or giant scary-ass nemesis. In an interview with Famitsu, Capcom showed great confidence that Resident Evil 3 is making its April 3rd launch date. Producers Peter Fabiano and Masao Kawada say that there will be no delay, adding that the game is approximately 90% done at this point. In a separate interview with PlayStation Magazine UK, Capcom revealed a few more details about the remake. Mercenaries mode, which was a guns blazing race against the clock minigame unlocked by beating the campaign, will not return. Also omitted are the live-action choices during cutscenes that influence later events. However, there's confirmation that Carlos will be playable. There's also the interesting note that the Nemesis was seemingly motion captured as Capcom created it in real life to be able to be scanned via photogrammetry. Changes were expected, especially given that Capcom considers this sort of a remake and a remix at the same time. We'll see everything that's new and different on April 3rd. That date sounds pretty firm. So, remember earlier how we were talking about, you should really take your time when it comes to, making sure your game comes out?
People are gonna poo-poo on you.
Yeah.
Or you'll get a delay in March, and then they'll be like, oh, something came up.
I'm like, well, my pet ferret died, and I had to go through mourning for 4 weeks, so our production's going to be a little bit behind.
Oh, but ferrets are so cool.
I know, right? But, anyway, be careful, Capcom. Just be careful, man. Make sure everything's good. Just don't do what we're saying not to do.
Capcom's usually pretty good with their releases anyways, so...
They're usually pretty good. I'm looking at you, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. But, they will, April 3rd is what we're looking at for the new Resident Evil. Anyway, so moving along, Nintendo's massive 900 game Switch sale actually includes some first-party stuff.
Bullshit, man.
The eShop, like most digital games marketplaces, is bursting at the seams with junk that no one wants. When Nintendo discounts hundreds of Switch games at a time, those numbers are naturally inflated by the bargain bin duds that need to be pushed aside in hopes of finding some real gems. This time is a little different in that some gems are Nintendo's own. Nintendo is throwing a New Year's sale on the eShop, an event that has 912 Switch games at slashed prices. Unlike many other sales, this one actually features some of Nintendo's first-party titles: Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, ARMS, Splatoon 2, Yoshi's Crafted World, and Kirby Star Allies are all discounted. Additionally, some third-party games that feature Nintendo properties like Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, and Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle are included. The shifting is made a bit easier because the sale can be broken down by specific publishers. Capcom, Ubisoft, NIS America, Devolver Digital, WB, Inti Creates, and Xe all have their own deals pages. So I'm not going to go over the prices, but some of the games that we've already mentioned. Witcher 3, Wild Hunt Complete Editions on sale, Ori and the Blind Forest, Stardew Valley. Divinity Original Sin 2 Definitive Edition, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, Samurai Showdown, Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD, River City Girls, Hotline Miami Collection, Mortal Kombat 11, Unravel 2, Observer, Downwell, Gris, and Sonic Mania are just a couple, names to go with it. But don't take my word for it. Roll up your sleeves and start digging around. You might find something you like. Nintendo's eShop New Year sale runs until January 16th. So you got the opportunities to grab a couple of games on discount. I mean, there's a few on here that I would really like to pick up myself. Like
Me too.
River City Girls, I've actually heard is really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it's like super good. Downwell is $1.49 for God's sake. Sonic Mania is at $10.
Stardew's at $10.
Yeah, right. You can pick up the newly fixed Bloodstained Ritual of the Night for $27.99. And then Ori and the Blind Forest for $13.99. So you guys got a couple of really good sales going on for you. So the last thing I want to talk about in my news section is something I usually don't talk about, but this is something that I figured that I wanted to share with the guys to just hear this. Two friends take on Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Blindfolded, sharing a controller. In between the speedruns, tool-assisted gimmickry, and the marathon RPG sessions, Awesome Games Done Quick is also known for its interesting stunt runs, which sees players take on games under specific and usually quite odd rules and conditions. Take, for example, this crazy run from yesterday, yesterday from today, where friends Sinister One and Zallard One came together to take on 1987's NES release Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Sharing a single controller between them, Sinister One was in charge of throwing the fist, while Zallard One kept Little Mac ducking and diving. Oh, and both players were blindfolded. Given Punch-Out's gameplay is entirely based on timing, pattern recognition, and audio-visual cues, such a feat would require expert teamwork, double-time reactions, and the ability to read the game's mechanics and counters to your every action. Let alone know how many star punches you have queued up, or whether you were in pink mode. Thus, Sinister One and Zallard One stepped up against Glass Joe, King Hippo, Super Macho Man, et al. In the name of charity. So how did the run go? You could check on the Games Done Quick, the recast. So, I watched this. They beat the whole damn game.
Yeah.
They beat Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Blindfolded.
Mm-hmm.
Sharing half a controller.
Yeah. You seem surprised.
Holy shit, man.
So, you have to understand it. It's a huge feat, but if you're both speedrunning a game like this, then you already know every time you got to punch. You already know what you got to move for. You already know how many hearts you actually have left, how many stars you're supposed to have, because you're used to it from the speedrun. Adding in that yes, they're doing it 2-player and blindfolded is pretty ridiculous though, all the same. But I mean, if you are good enough, you can. There's been countless other runs of other games that people do blindfolded as well, and it is all about the audio cues. So as long as you do that. Only having to do half of what you need to do seems easier when you think about it. But that's the other thing, is that you have to rely on the other person. Like, did they press it quick enough? And should I start punching now? And that's the biggest thing about it. So, yeah, no, it's a pretty amazing feat.
It's just for me. It's just watching this and be like, when I play the game, I can barely beat it with both hands on the controller with my eyes open. And these guys are able to beat Mike Tyson only having half the controls? Like, holy shit, man. Unbelievable. So, like I said, I normally don't do sort of stuff like this where it's like, hey, somebody did something on a speed run, blah, blah, blah. But, like, this to me was so, like, holy crap. But I felt like it would be something that you guys would be interested in. So, if you haven't done, or if you haven't seen it, you can go to the Games Done Quick 2020 for. It should be on YouTube at this point, or on the Twitch the recast. But it's at about the 18-hour 44-minute mark. So if you guys want to watch that, that's where you're gonna want to start watching it. So. Go check it out for yourself. Made me question why I play video games. So, you know. So, anyway, that is it for STK's portion of the news. So, as always, I will turn the mic over to my co-host, OWG.
All right. So, you do this every time, Scott. You do it every time. You hand it over to me, and then you take it back. You take it every time.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
See? Every time.
I gave it to you, but I feel like I'm forgetting something. I feel like I'm forgetting like my favorite portion of the podcast. I feel like I should remember this. Like it should be your favorite portion of the podcast. Like it should be mine, and it should be like everybody's. What is this that I'm forgetting about? Oh yes. The Steam Queue.
Jesus Christ. Alright, well, after that lovely introduction.
Listen, like I said before, man, I gotta give it something new every time. You have to just have fun.
That's true, and we do have fun. Scott, he's an ad. Alright.
Alright.
So our first game here is Sands of Salzar. Open world. What? See, now I've got fucking Scott's disease over there now.
Yeah, right.
This is an open world role-playing game set in a fantastical desert. The world has descended into darkness and chaos after the Battle of the Blood Moon. Take control of different characters and come up with your own strategy to shape the future of your world. I cannot read that. Hand Squirrel Studio, and there's some early access RPG strategy adventure indie game. Let's give this a watch.
Okay.
This is like 4 minutes long. Jesus.
Alright.
Oh, is it the heavy comic kind of art style? I wonder. It looks like it might be.
Kind of looks that way, honestly.
Please, sir, can I have... I'm going to skip ahead here, because...
Okay.
Let's go to... Alright, I'm about a minute and 40 in there, Scott. Or around 145, 150 by the time you get there.
Wow, I hope this has some English translation.
Yeah, because then there's not much point, really, for us to play it.
If you scroll down, it tells you the English language is
well, let's try the other trailer and see if that one's in English at all.
If you scroll down, it says the English language is not supported.
Oh. Scott found a thing. Then ignore it goes. Sorry, good sir. You might have had a good game, but if you're not going to make it English, I can't play it. I can't learn a new language for your game.
I can't read the Asian writing. The game looks pretty nice, but I can't read it. So, you know, I gotta be able to read it.
So, next in queue. Girls' Civilization. This just came out. Open World RTS. That's the description. That's all you're getting. Go fuck yourself otherwise. Let's watch this trailer. Alright. What is this camera?
What the fuck am I looking at?
What is this camera?
What is this game?
Camera, stop! Oh god, that horse is fucked. Alright, well, I mean, if you wanted to see a bunch of girls fighting each other, I mean, you know, whatever your waifu, you know, fantasies are, I mean, you can live them out any way you wish. If this is your way, then so be it. Oh my god, you see those cute girls in the screen? No, okay, I'm ignoring this. I'm sorry. This is... Next. Why? Why? I can't even... Scott!
What?
Okay, English is not supported. What? Why am I getting all of these Chinese games?
What have you played recently that would make...
No, maybe?
That's a lot of Japanese, man. What the...
Alright.
I see a lot of Japanese text there, man.
Oh god, I found something that Scott's gonna touch himself to, apparently.
Uh-oh.
Chrono Arc, Scott. We finally have a game that's not...
Oh,
that.
yeah. Alright.
I may have to get a hold of Steam support, because there could be something going on with my account. Alright, anyways, Chrono Arc. Apparently, it's a party-based deck-building roguelite, so...
Okay.
Alright, a single-player RPG game about rescuing the world from chaos. Recruit, train, and build a team of unique investigators throughout the abandoned land and restore the twisted world.
Okay.
Okay, let's watch. Oh, you made a pond!
What?
Okay. Build a deck of your own. Whoa. You see her deck? Oh my god. She has quite the deck. Whoa. Oh. Okay. The RPG fighting style is actually not that bad. It looks pretty cool. Wait, 4 turns. I'm just not good at deck building.
See, it's like the in-game style and then the art style is so drastically different. It's like...
I mean, I like both. Honestly, that's just me, maybe, but... Alright.
Nothing is bad, it's just I'm a little confused. Like, I did see the trailer, but I'm still, like, not entirely sure what the game is about.
The thing is, I'm not sure if I actually want to add it to my wish list or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We'll skip ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, what is this? Thief Simulator.
Oh boy.
Ignore. Next. This is going to be a terrible queue. It's a good thing I got some stuff waiting in case some kind of shit like this happened. And we've already looked at Flotsam before, actually.
Yeah.
It's not something I'm interested in either. And the most recent game I played was Outbuddies, so this is weird.
Yeah, none of this is anything like Outbuddies.
No. Ratropolis, real-time card game that uses cards to see why cards? I haven't played any card games.
I have.
This is not Scott. Yeah, see, this is all character. Hold on now. Hold on. Ignore. Next. Let's see what else I get here. Yeah, no, I'm ignoring this Japanese game scroll of Taiwo. Sorry. 60 seconds. Reatomize. I don't even know what that is. I'm sorry to do this. I'm literally just trying to get out of this so I can see what the hell this is happening. Finish queue. Start another.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have successfully through our Steam queue. It has taken us 3 minutes, and I think I honestly spent more time thinking about what I was going to introduce the Steam queue today than the time that we actually spent in it. But lucky for us, Stefan has thought ahead.
Yes, because MMORPG Tycoon 2. What? I'm going through another Steam queue, and I'm like, what is this? No, okay, I'm done. We're done. Bye. Alright. So, next we have a couple of games that I hand-selected myself, because you never know when shit's going to happen like that. So, first one we have is called Mana Spark. A challenging action RPG with deep Souls-like combat and rogue-like elements. Explore a dreadful dungeon and fight smart enemies that will plan and collaborate between themselves to defeat you. Let's watch this trailer.
I think I might already have this game on my wish list. No, but I should, because I've already seen this before searching for these sort of games, like action roguelites, and I definitely wanted it, so it is going on my,
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yes. And the main thing about Mana Spark is that, like, most of everything is action-based. So, like, how you have, like, certain spells and other roguelites and stuff like this, this is completely skill-based.
Yeah.
Like, most of everything in Mana Spark is how good can you use the things that you have access to. So, like, a lot of things are, like, you know, just, like...
Feels like it's more D&D.
Right?
In that case.
Yeah. But it's really more about knowing your character and what abilities he currently has than just going in and trying to just hack and slash everything. Which... for me, it's like, oh, this is really cool.
Alright, and the game is actually $11.49 Canadian, so that's about...
$9.99 for us.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
So, not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. Next, we have a game called Skull, S-K-U-L, the Hero Slayer. Guide Skull on his quest to single-handedly take on the Imperial army and rescue his king from captivity in an action-packed roguelite 2D platformer for the ages. Action indie, action roguelike pixel graphics. Let's go. Oh! Soundtrack, dude. Soundtrack, dude. Yeah, dude, this looks fantastic as well. Again, you know when I bring games to you guys personally that they're gonna be good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh! New helmet? Gives you new abilities? Oh shit, that dragon looks so good.
Oh! That's weird.
Oh my gosh. Oh! I guess that's a boss.
Yep.
Looks alright. Oh, second picture there. Scott's like, yeah, I'm definitely getting it now.
Yep.
Alright, so this game is not released yet. Planned release for Q1 2020. So soon.
Yep. They're currently beta testing it, and their current beta test for creators is extended until January 26th.
Okay.
So I would say sometime probably in late February, early March, I would say to expect this game.
For some reason, all the... I don't know if you can see this over here. You'll see it in a second on the stream, but everything's in some kind of Asian lettering, so I don't know what's going on there. Test. Okay, my English came through, so that's good. Alright. I probably shouldn't have done that. Anyways. Next game. Scott, you're going to enjoy this one as well. It's called Metal Unit. It's not what you think. Alright, before you thought you were going to... I thought for sure you would say something.
It's a good thing you stopped.
It's a sprawling, side-scrolling platformer with roguelite features. Play as Joanna, a soldier on a mission to capture her treasonous sister. Wear the M-Unit 11 suit and battle against monsters and aliens while uncovering the truth about humanity.
You mean it's the woman in a mech suit? I don't play games like that.
Action, indie, adventure, RPG, Roguevania. Let's watch!
Not the spaceship.
And that...
Huh.
Right.
Huh. Oh, hi, Joanna.
Jesus.
God damn.
Whoa.
That's one big boy.
Right? What are you gonna do, Ridley?
God damn it, Stefan. Why do you do this to me?
And then the first picture that comes up is Joanna.
So, girl?
So again, not out yet. Released Q1 2020.
It
Yeah.
kind of reminds me of like a 2D action adventure. Kind of reminds me of like the Guardian Legend. You remember that game?
A little bit, yeah.
Where it's like kind of along the same lines. Like, hey, I got the metal suit and I can turn it into an airplane. I'm actually an android. Hey! But, you know.
Formation Z was like that as well.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to move on to our next game here. I got here called Kelipot. Kelipot, Scott. A mysterious plague befell ancient Celiphaes. What choices await the twins lost in the chaos? The roguelite action platformer Kelipot is here. With a rich story experience, frame-by-frame animations, and hand-illustrated 2D visuals, explore and uncover the truth beneath this twisted world. Early access, action roguelike, action indie game. So, let's have a look.
After that, forward. Alright.
Alright. The visuals are fucking amazing in this stuff.
Yeah. Huh. Whoa.
And yeah.
Whoa. Well, you gave me the look like a bullet hell and a half mast. What the hell, man?
Whoa. Tidbits.
What the hell? Is this like is this an action RPG adventure or is this bullet hell? Well, what the hell? You can't tug on all my heartstrings. Not all at once.
What must I do to save you, brother?
Brother.
Hulk Hogan comes out.
I like that we exact same time at the same idea.
Listen here,
What must we do
brother.
to save you, brother?
Now, this game is already out. It's $15.49 Canadian. It came out the 12th of December 2019, so... Yeah, it's going on my wish list.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good.
I almost went to my queue. Get out of here. Alright, last one we got to look at. Again, sorry, Scott. I'm doing bad things. It's called Bushiden. Your sister has vanished, and rumors swirl that Gao has been resurrected. Oh no! He's gonna learn all of his rage undeveloped. Has been resurrected with an evil army at his command. Explore for cybernetic upgrades until you are powerful enough to defeat the diabolic Gao. And his cybernetic army once and for all in this futuristic action platformer. Action Metroidvania 2D indie pixel graphics. Let's go.
Oh my god.
I told you, I'm sorry, Scott. And this is why I said you don't need Overwatch 2 right now, because there's too many good games coming out already. You won't be able to have time. And the soundtrack is fucking bumping. Like, I could see this on the Sega Genesis for some reason. I don't know why.
What the fuck? Alright, I have a perfect explanation and I'll wait. And add to wish list.
Yeah. Planned release date for 2020.
Ladies and gentlemen, the only way that I can properly describe what I just saw, and I'm sure Stephen will agree with me, it's like Strider and Shinobi had a love child and shit out of Metroidvania.
Yeah.
Strider and Shinobi in a Metroidvania.
So, Strider and Shinobi gangbang. Sounds. And this is what happened.
Yes, please. Yes. Can I have it now? No, I cannot have it now?
Not yet. Soon.
Okay.
Alright, so that's the only games I got for you, but hopefully that makes up for that crap queue. I will get to down to business on that and see what's going on there later. Anyways, next up, my news from IndieRetroNews.com. Oh baby. Oh baby. Now we get into our actual retro gaming. Alright, sorry. Leap, a glorious Bounder tribute, is teased for C64. You know what? We're jumping right into it. We're gonna go right to that friggin'... Oh, okay. What is this? Whoa! Oh, this soundtrack is good, Scott. It's loud as fuck, though. I'm gonna turn that shit down. Probably killing everybody out there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was good, though, right? Okay, we're gonna get the gameplay. Let's go. Let's go. Get ready. Level 1-1. Oh. This is a shoot 'em up?
That was pretty bumping, I'm not gonna lie.
This soundtrack is really good, though. You have to stand on platforms, maybe? Oh, yeah, you do. Okay. So you have to. You're a bouncing ball, and you have to try and make your way across platforms on a. I'm trying to think of the fucking word. A scrolling screen. There you go. Jesus.
This is auto-scrolling.
Oh, big bounce. Oh, you made it. Oh, that was a good one.
What's the numbers, do you know?
Well, it's only being teased, so I guess it's not really fully finished yet. All right. So, a tribute game currently being developed called Leap. Latest project from Massi Laurentino? Laurentino. My God, I'm sorry. Which looks to feature not just great gameplay, but a superb soundtrack, and it really is. According to creator of this fine-looking game, Leap is a very first attempt at making something from the good old bread bin. A Bounder clone tribute with tweaked physics and modernized gameplay, no deadly respawns like in the original, that is currently being shown above as very alpha footage. In the developer's words, an indistinct mass of tiles put together to test the engine with no gameplay purpose. Graphics is 50% placeholders, and they still need to work a lot on the soundtrack. What? Okay. Alright, okay. If you want to work on the soundtrack more, cool. Because the soundtrack from the title and that one level, the soundtrack sounds fantastic. So that's pretty awesome. But yeah, it's nice to know that most of those patterns there are just placeholders for now. So I guess we'll get updates on that as more news comes in for it. Alright, Crystal Story Awakening, an early PC preview of a retro-inspired action RPG. Welcome to Crystal Story Awakening, developed by Fred Bread Frown Brown and team. Jesus. A charming and colorful action-adventure RPG that mixes it up with Zelda and other such amazing games found on consoles such as the SNES and even the Sega Mega Drive. It features a beautiful world to explore with all the secrets and puzzles you'd expect, coupled with a fast-paced, action-oriented combat system that is sure to excite any retro fan even at this early preview stage. According to the creator, Crystal Story Awakening is an action RPG that blends charming retro-style graphics with fast-paced action, heavily inspired by the 16-bit classics. The game was created over a period of a year, but as of this time is still an early, polished prototype demo with further updates coming to make the preview both fresh to play and less buggy. In terms of the full version, however, there is no exact release date, but there's a hope of a full version in a couple of years. Ooh. Well, we'll see how good it is in a second. Let's have a look. Why does it sound like it's a horror?
It does have a really horror-sounding soundtrack, doesn't it?
Okay. Oh. Oh, okay. Whoa! Okay, this looks like it's pretty good, dude. Okay, I like the color scheme.
Yeah.
In that shot with the cat, that thing looks freaking awesome. It almost kind of almost has a feel like Undertale, but still Legend of Zelda-ish.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, this looks like it's gonna be good.
Excuse me. I like how even in like the black and white scenes, they're like they have enough attention to detail that they have like enough attention to detail that you can tell she's dichromatic.
Ooh.
That's really cool.
Jeez, okay, that was
A lot better than I was expecting.
yeah, alright. That's something to look forward to. Okay, now a couple of years, alright. That looks like a promising RPG. That looks like something I'd want to actually play, like you'd look forward to.
Oh yeah.
Wow, alright. Alright, so our next news is the official C64 SEUCK Compo of 2020 is ready for awesome C64 games. Alright, so last year the Commodore 64 saw some of its funnest releases with the likes of Kings Valley Plus, La Baie des Morts, Manic Miner 64 DX, and Neutron, giving all of us plenty of reasons to fire up our hardware and emulators. Thankfully, even those without coding experience are able to get involved, as the New Dimension are now running another shoot-'em-up construction kit. Oh. Oh. Alright. Now I know what SE... Okay, see, I should have looked that up before. So, shoot-'em-up. Construction kit competition title is the official C64 shoot-'em-up construction kit Compo of 2020. So basically, ooh, Scott. All kinds of shoot-'em-ups, dude. The official C64 SEUCK Compo of 2020 finishes 31st of May 2020, and so far as it's only just begun, there's already been an entry called Guillotine, the Doom Machine. This game, according to the developer Richard Bayless, is not only an enhanced SEUCK game, but it is classed as a fast-paced horizontal scrolling shoot-'em-up, in which your mission is to seek out and destroy an evil Doom Machine created by the evil alien Emperor. Let's have a look at this, eh? 10 minutes. We probably won't watch that much.
Yeah, not the whole thing.
Let's skip ahead to its load. Also, there is a C64 modern console that we can get as well to play C64 games on. That would be cheaper than getting a C64.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so the title sounds awesome. Whoa. That's rare. Right to left. Oh man, that's gonna screw people up so bad.
That is kind of weird.
Isn't it though? Like, but that's cool though, because again, if no one else has really went through trouble doing something as much as this, then that's kind of more original. Oh, what? What did he hit there? Enemies take multiple hits too. Oh my god. Wow, this looks like it could be difficult too, dude.
Yeah, right?
Holy crap. Nah, I mean, it's probably still work in progress, but still, like... Oh, that's a boss. Alright.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn! It's just so weird to, like, to look at it from right to left, man. So strange.
I'm skipping ahead of it. Yeah, it is. Oh, he's got a power up. At least this thing. And there's not so much music anymore, so it's just sound effects. So Alright, well that's kind of cool though. Again, it's probably a work in progress, so as time goes by it'll probably get better, but that looks pretty good. And like I said, it's very different going right to left. It's really going to screw up people who play shoot 'em ups.
Oh yeah. That's like, it's disorienting, but it's different though, which is nice because like when like publishing your own games, like having originality definitely helps. Like, you know.
And well, the other thing is we're gonna have a bunch of shoot 'em ups to look forward to by the end of May. All right, so Parachute, a Game & Watch title, comes over to the ZX Spectrum. So this is the second time after seeing the ZX Spectrum or a Game & Watch game being ported. So it's funny that Game & Watch is getting some attention.
Right. Something as I don't want to say basic as Game & Watch, but
yeah, they're pretty basic. I mean, it was basically used to be just the just images, like, you know.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So, and that's still what it is now. It's just that they can modernize it, as you can see here in this video. Like even when it started, it shows where all the images are. So, but I remember having like some of these games growing up. Like some of them were Tiger, some of them were No Name. Okay, so basically, okay, you're catching parachuters coming out. That's pretty interesting. Because, yeah, we had the Donkey Kong Jr. that was being ported over, I think, to the C64 and the ZX Spectrum. So now we have another one being ported over. So I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more of these getting ported over just because they're easy to make, I would imagine, too, being images, more or less. Alright, so anyone out there with a ZX Spectrum, you might be interested in this. MB03 Plus Ultimate, the ultimate expansion for your ZX Spectrum. Alright, so from the Czech Republic comes a new super expansion for all ZX Spectrum models. It is the brainchild of Jan Kusera, introducing his hobby project MB03 Plus Ultimate. Okay. We don't need an introduction here. We want to get right into the functionality and stuff. So, the cryptically named expansion offers some amazing features, many of which have never been combined in this particular way before. It aims to offer integration of all ZX Spectrum expansions and interfaces into one device. Sure, individually we have seen mass storage devices, sound card expansions, mouse adapters, joystick interfaces, and video output adapters, etc. before, but the ZX Spectrum only offers one ZX bus in the form of the Edge connector, the MB03 Plus Ultimate to the rescue. Inside, it's very powerful FPGA, which implements all the devices virtually, side by side, all running at the same time. Thus, in one expansion, one single physical device plugged into your ZX Spectrum, you can have all the expansions that you ever dreamt of. That's not bad. What's even better, its large FPGA still has plenty of room left for further virtualizations. So far, only 25% of its capacity is utilized. Let the development begin. Alright, so its current supported features, general sound interface, which allows you to play a smaller selection of games with sample-based music and effects. You can also use it to play mod files, popular sound format known for Commodore, Amiga, and PC. Div MMC for the boot screen, you can choose to jump right into the regular Div MMC with ESX DOS. For your convenience, there are two physical micro SD slots in the MB03 Plus Ultimate. Or instead, from the boot screen, you can choose to boot from BS DOS and access the CF card in a physical compact flash IDE card slot. There's also an ESX DOS for Div IDE, which can also be used to access CF card. ESX DOS even has support for DMA, direct memory access, file transfer on both MMC or IDE. Advanced users can switch between BS DOS and ESX DOS via two simple out commands. A mini jack stereo sound output to take all audio from here, while you grab the picture from your normal ZX Spectrum video output, be it RF composite or RPG, depending on your ZX model and modifications. 2 USB ports. You can plug in a standard USB mouse to access somewhat widespread Kempston mouse standard. The other USB port can be used to interface with a PC. Further future uses of the USB ports are possible, such as USB joypads and keyboards. Other supported sound devices: 3X AY sound chip, included Turbo Sound SAA 1099 sound chip, Sound Drive Check DA stereo codecs. Oh my god. DB9 joystick port, MB380 Plus Ultimate is powered by the ZX Spectrum. No need for external power supply unit. This is a huge plus in my opinion, as there is nothing more annoying than expansions that requires their own PSU. That's true. LED matrix display for cooler factor works as a typical audio VU meter during normal operation. Displays greeting on boot. Real-time clock, also optional Wi-Fi module. Theoretically should be possible to do over-the-air firmware upgrade with the use of a PC, IRC, and file downloads, and also a very distinct possibility. Check out some of the Wi-Fi developments at a link provided on the page. So it looks like, yeah, it has a lot of options to it. I'm not going to go through it all there. If you want to check it out fully, definitely go check it out. Indie Retro News, they go through it. There's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, there's a lot. And there is a main website as well, which you should probably, because in order for me to say it, it's like sites.google.com/view/MB03plus/home. Like, no, just go to Indie Retro News, look for the MB03 Ultimate expansion. You'll see there. That looks like it's worth it.
Oh yeah.
If you're a ZX Spectrum player and owner, I'm sure that's something that they're gonna friggin' love, dude. It's just, I wonder what the price point is.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Because especially with all that stuff that it does.
Well, let's see. Is there a price on there? I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it yet. Well, okay, then that's a big site. So I'm not going to go and look for that because that'd be just wasting time. So we'll go to our next news topic there. Matchic Collector's Edition box set ready for Amiga pre-orders 18th of January. Alright, so we're just going to watch the trailer here for this. Oh, his thumb is all swollen. No, I'm just kidding. This is the latest game from Tuner Max, the Cool Dude crew. Okay, let's get to the game. Looks like a Doom start screen, but it's not Doom. Oh, no, push the other way. Push it. Okay, so you're just basically matching everything up. It's almost like a puzzle matching game. Okay.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So, I think we understand the gist of this game. So, I don't think we need to watch anymore. So, yeah, there's going to be a few of these Collector's Edition releases that you can get that we're going to go through. We'll get to those in just a second. The next game we have here, Voyage, A Sorcerer's Vacation, a total conversion of Alex Kidd and Miracle World for the SMS. What a great start to 2020, as after already mentioning countless new games for retro-based computers and consoles, along comes another one that is sure to appeal to many of our readers. Unlike previous games giving a graphical overhaul or new levels to that classic game Alex Kidd and Miracle World, along comes Voyage, A Sorcerer's Vacation, as a total conversion of Alex Kidd and Miracle World, released by Bad Sector, the lowest definition, Mandulin, and Cylindro. Let's watch the video. Oh, it's only 35 seconds. Okay. Oh. What is... Jesus, this looks pretty good, actually. Wow. Okay. This looks great. Oh, and it's coming, and it's already released. December 15th it came out. And it's out on Sega Master System. There's no card, I bet, but... Okay. More games to download. So as you can already tell the video above, the original game not only looks completely different, but this hack has all new graphics, music, sounds, levels, and many other features to give the impression of a brand new game released for the SMS. As in the words of the team behind the game, after almost 4 years, we think we are done with what started as My High Quest. 17 levels, a bunch of different level styles, more than a dozen music tracks, and even more sound effects. Many new features and a few surprises is what we put into this hack. It looks fantastic.
It looked pretty fun.
Yeah, I would play that. Alright, next up we have Alhambra Tales. In development, Amstrad platformer gets early footage tease. Oh, alright, let's watch it then. Oh, it's a good solid minute. Oh. I'm guessing that's not water that you can fall in, or it's not. Well, it's still in early access, I guess, or work in progress or whatever, so maybe normally you would jump there. So.
That's a little a little weird.
Yeah. But it looks like it runs pretty good. It looks colorful and nice. The video quality isn't the most fantastic. It's very smart. So, although not much is known about the game so far, other than the early development Twitter tease above, Alhambra Tales looks to be a platform in which you must collect items and avoid deadly creatures and traps such as skeletons and watery depths. And that's all we know so far, but for further info, keep checking the Twitter feed above. Alright, well that's, again, something I'm sure we're going to see more of. Especially if it's for the Amstrad.
Yeah.
Space Quest 2 VGA Remake by Infamous Adventures reaches version 2.0. If Mr. Six is listening, he might want to look at this. Mr. Six. So, love playing adventure games? Check. Love these old Sierra style classic graphics? Check. Then check out the latest 2.0 update to Space Quest 2 VGA Remake, developed by Infamous Adventures. Yes, indeed, Space Quest is back yet again to be played new gamers and fans of the old classic, as according to the creators. Version 2.0 has been released to further improve Infamous Adventures' remake of the classic 1987 Sierra game, Space Quest 2. As noted by the description, this is Infamous Adventures' remake of the classic 1987 Sierra game Space Quest 2 by the two guys from Andromeda, Scott Murphy and Mark Crow. Join Roger Wilco on an intergalactic adventure as he is pursued by the agents of the sinister sludge Vohal. Lovingly recrafted in simulated VGA colors by Infamous Adventures, featuring several bug fixes, small graphical updates, and a new hidden SQ3 Easter egg. Have fun. Yeah, see, I knew you'd be excited, Mr. Steve. Mr. Six. I knows. So that's pretty cool that there's remakes of Space Quest. I wasn't even aware of that.
That ends in Quest. There's 6F Cyrus. It will be a happy man.
Oh, indeed he will. Alright, so here's one of the other games I was talking about. Rotator, a new Amiga game, boxed edition, accepting pre-orders 18th of January. And if I'm not mistaken, Rotator was a shmup. Oh, I thought Bret Hart was coming in for a second. My bad. Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, yeah, we looked at this before. This looks so hard. Oh, my God. I would be so terrible at this game.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, here's the thing. Like, I thought Bret Hart was coming, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Then I turned the sound on, and I'm like, oh. Suddenly it makes sense.
Just for a second when it first started.
Yeah, it did kind of sound like it.
Oh my.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, I like the box. The box looks really cool. Alright, according to the feature write-up for the game, it will feature 64 colors on screen, 8 worlds to explore, 80 fiendish levels, multiple choices, an automatic replay, dangerous traps, B hard drive installable, and finally all playable on an A500 plus, A600 or later. So yes, if you're looking forward to a very bouncy Amiga game with a team of people such as Timothy, John Gilbert, Sean Waters, Trevor Story, and Ken's all developing using Amos, then keep an eye on this one because we said it's coming this month.
Wow.
Alright, and this is one we also mentioned not too long ago. The Shadow over Hawksmill, a dark C64 Cthulhu inspired game available for pre-order 18th of January. Once again, Cytronic is just loving their releases, aren't they? So we're not going to go into this one because we just went over. I think it was the last podcast, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So,
1 or 2 podcasts ago, yeah.
but yeah, that box does look good though.
Yeah, it does.
Man, Cytronic Software makes some nice box stuff. So that's what it looks like so far, anyways.
Eye of Sauron.
Oh, see, here's another one. Realms of Quest Quadrilogy Collection announced for the VIC-20.
Ooh.
Oh, way back in 2014, developer Ghislain de Blois released Realms of Quest 4 for the Commodore VIC-20 through the publisher Cytronic. I have a VIC-20. It was another game in the series as a fine tribute to classic style turn-based, party-based dungeon crawlers of the 1980s, with graphics reminiscent of the early Wizardry games 1 through 4. If you remember those great games, you'll be pleased to know Cytronic Software will be doing an awesome Realms of Quest Quadrilogy collection, which will be available to pre-order the 18th of January.
Nice.
The previous game in the series had wireframe graphics, a 10-level hand-designed dungeon complete with spinners, teleporters, pits, and darkness zones, monsters galore, plus a temple to heal your characters, a shop to purchase and sell equipment, and an inn to rest and train levels. In fact, Realms of Quest 4 was such a great game that last year Double-Sided Games published the latest game in the series as Realms of Quest 5. Thankfully, for those of you who missed out on all the games in the series, apart from the latest one, which is available to buy through Double-Sided Games, Cytronic will be publishing the collection pack, which contains Realms of Quest 1, 2, 3, and 4, and a previously unreleased game, Ultimate Quest Catacomb, for the C64 through their website in a lovely feature-packed boxed edition. And it looks so good. The cover of that looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, God, I missed the 80s and 90s. All right.
Got that, like, Cthulian feel to it.
Mm-hmm. Another game, Mars, a new C64 game from Sputnik World, available to pre-order January 18th. We've also took a look at this one recently as well.
Yeah, that's another one that has, like, a really nice box art.
Oh, yeah. Again, all the box art for this looks like prime. Like, I would love to have that sitting on my shelf.
Right?
That looks so good. And it looks like it's like all of them look reminiscent to the era that they should have been from. Mm-hmm. Which, you know, like that 70s kind of and early 80s, like almost like watercolor kind of that they have to it. Oh, man, it just looks so good. All right, our last article from Indie Retro News, Indiana Jones and the Relic of the Viking. Dungeon crawlers and RPGs are not the only genres I'm a fan of, as I showed my adventure game collection to shelf gleaming with The Secret of Monkey Island. Okay, Thankfully, it seems others have a spot for such games such as Indiana Jones, as just moments ago we were contacted by Cities Gold that the holiday fan demo called Indiana Jones and the Relic of the Viking has been released. The demo. Yes, indeed, if you're huge fans of those classic adventure games such as Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, This small demo of Indiana Jones and the Relic of the Viking, which is a teaser to the upcoming 7 Cities of Gold, will be just the game you need to relive those classic memories. It features a top-quality soundtrack, devious puzzles, witty charm when dealing with annoying characters, and well-designed rooms befitting an Indiana adventure. Once again, I think this is a game Mr. Six is going to want to play. And it looks like it's for PC, Mr. Six. So there is a source link there for it as well. RaidersOfThe7Cities.com. So you can probably check it out over there. I have one article here from Destructoid. Exit the Gungeon is coming to consoles and PC in early 2020.
I purposely left that one because I knew you would take it. I purposely let that one go.
All right.
Because I knew for damn sure you were not going to pass on that.
Oh, God, no. So, let's watch the trailer.
I already have.
Wait, Apple Arcade. Is that only for Apple Arcade? Because that would be disappointing.
A paradox created you. Yet the gungeon remains.
Oh, the word looks so good. Oh, okay. Oh my lord. Why always bullet hells? I'm so terrible at it. Wow, we're fighting Kitty in a spaceship. It looks like Dr. Wily's little ship, actually. Oh my god, okay, so it looks amazing.
Yes, it does.
Oh, good old shoot 'em up stuff. There are a handful of Apple Arcade exclusives we're stoked to see come to other platforms. An Exit Gungeon, a dungeon climber spin-off loosely comparable to all-time great Super Crate Box, is one such game. After several months in iOS, it's now eyeing a PC and console release early this year, sorry. Alright, so that's good to know. Oh.
Yeah, I did. I for sure super interested in this.
Yeah, it looks so good. And I don't think I have entered the Gungeon, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check that.
You definitely have to play that.
No, I do not have it. That's, again, there's a lot of games I don't have, and there's a lot to do. So,
Enter the Gungeon is super fun.
Oh, I'll definitely look into getting it eventually. But anyway, so it's good news. We're going to have Exit the Gungeon coming soon, which is fantastical. What up, Peter? All right, up next we have our news from Indie Games Plus. I picked out a few different articles here. First, we have The Forgotten Sea unveils the self through sailing peaceful waters. So anything to do with sailing sounds fun to me, because, you know, why not? Okay, there's no trailer there, so we'll just read down through. You wake up on a striking beach with no memory and only mysterious messages floating around telling you about a traveler. Unsure who you are yourself, you must sail around and find more of these messages in Forgotten Sea. Forgotten Sea is a stunning adventure game where you play as a young adult navigating the open water. The seas are dotted with islands you can explore in hopes of figuring out what happened to both you and the traveler that's been sending out bottled messages. This world isn't exactly normal either, as there are portals that you also need to travel through. These portals take you to different times and seasons, giving you a new place to explore. Alright, despite there being a set story, the world is quite open, meaning you can spend some time just sailing around, enjoying the detail and look at the visuals. Yay! Not only are you a lost sailor, but you're also looking for someone else who has been forgotten out on the sea. Forgotten Sea aims to work like a book, with you slowly discovering the story and reflecting on what is going on, touching on the balance of life, adventure, home, and family. This game is something completely different from the development team Beta Jester, which is really refreshing to see, as I feel this might be just their best game yet. Alright.
I mean, by the screenshot there, it looks pretty visually nice.
Yeah. Well, again, myself, I enjoy the exploration. So being able to get into a boat or a ship or whatever and just sail around to different like islands and explore a little bit and look for somebody, that's right up my alley. I'd play that. Why not?
I mean, my favorite Zelda game is Wind Waker, so just throwing that out there.
Wow.
So throwing that out there.
We should see SDK stream that sometime in the future.
Wind Waker?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Why not? I haven't watched a playthrough of it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we're going to move on. This might not be Scott's thing, but tactical RPG Vestaria Saga aims to capture the feel of Fire Emblem. Alright, Vestaria Saga 1, War of the Scions, needs you to be very, very careful about your unit positions and attack plans, or else you're going to really muck things up for the royal family. You're the prince of a small coastal kingdom, one that has just had an imperial ship set ablaze in its harbor. This naturally doesn't go over well with the Imperials and sets off a chain of nasty events that will see you on the run, trying your best to keep the royal family safe. Plus, someone definitely set you all up, so you have to worry about that as well. All while trying to learn military tactics on the fly. Drawing inspiration from the Fire Emblem series, the game puts you in a grid-based combat against a variety of unit types and military groups, tasking you with being very careful about your own unit choices, attacks, and equipment. All kinds of factors go into how well your unit will work against a certain enemy one, so you'll want to weigh each decision for a bit before you choose your offense and defense. There's not many allies out there for our poor prince, and having them die permanently from your screw-ups will make it hard for your family to survive for long. Wow, that's kind of hardcore. Not that the game is entirely unforgiving, you're able to save every 5 turns during a melee, so if things are going well, you can keep a bit of your progress. Losing also doesn't mean completely starting the fight over, which is a great touch. There's also 2 different difficulty modes if you want something ruthless or not. Jesus, it sounded ruthless as it was. Time for some nice variety in the game's first chapter. Oof. Alright, let's have a look at this then. I'm beholden to death, the dragon scorched the earth and across the ocean wishes. Oh no, it's gone, I can't read it anymore, it's gone. Epic tale of a kingdom in turmoil. Ooh, okay. Oh wow, okay, that doesn't look too bad actually, when they're like fighting. Like when the actual attacks go off, I should say. Available December 27th, so it's already out. So, let's see, how much is it on Steam? $22.79. So if that's your thing, you can go pick that up right now.
Probably sounds like.
And there is a soundtrack there.
Nice. Like I said, the Fire Emblem-ish games have pretty good.
And it looked like it was a fairly well-made game, too. So, oh, and big surprise. Look at that. Publisher, Dungeon Entertainment. Why am I not surprised? Boz loves putting out good games. One of my favorite publishers. Alright, our next article here is Airship Combat Requires Juggling Complex Tasks in Skywolf. Flying through the sky in your own skyboat, Larson Wolf is just looking to defend the town from the large amount of flying creatures that seem to be invading it. This isn't an easy task, as because you're an unknown sky sailor, you have a lot to do to manage your ship in Skywolf. After saving a little chicken, you both embark on a journey through the sky with a lot to keep track of if you want to save your town. There are loads of monsters flying through the air, but you can fly against them, making sure your ship takes care of these invaders. Once inside your ship, you can start picking different areas within it to control various parts, from turbo blasting forward to changing your steering or controlling your cannon. You'll need to find your way to the correct part of the ship to activate that area. Moving around the ship and learning what all of the parts do is key to Skywolf, especially as you upgrade different areas of your ship with bigger weapons. What are you giggling about over there? I seen you giggling over on the stream there a couple seconds ago.
I think it was still about the chicken.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Anyways.
You rescued a chicken.
The chicken, I'm just like, what? Then you guys embark on an adventure. Hi, chicken, me and you! You are the village crazy dude. As you fly through the sky, bombs, islands, and invaders will appear. Some folks will try to get onto your ship, which requires you to beat them up, while other attacks just damage it from the outside. Instead of spending time activating new areas, you'll need to fix those parts and continue on your journey through the sky. You'll meet new characters, new areas, and hope to make your world a better place. Have I mentioned that you are a half-human, half-flying creature to top it all off? No! Start off with that. Your chicken also sits at the front of your ship, warning you of any dangers you might be heading right into. I got the chance to play... Okay, so... That sounds different. I wish there was a trailer for this. Is this a trailer? No. There's the chicken. It's definitely the chicken.
You need the chicken trailer, man. Come on.
Alright.
Gotta see the chicken.
Well, that was different.
Yeah.
Alright, so the last article we have here was originally a Kickstarter that apparently we missed.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm just like, why? Because it looks like it's a really good game. The Longest Road on Earth finds compelling stories in ordinary existence. Alright, so The Longest Road on Earth takes the normal everyday life of someone in a very small town in the middle of nowhere and turns it into a game where you follow a mouse character through her pretty average life. It's a slow, beautiful pixel art adventure game that shows different points of a view in a small town. Unlike most games that have played The Longest Road on Earth, it doesn't have any puzzles for you to take on, fantasy people to destroy, or anything to experience apart from a normal life. All the details are in the small interaction points throughout the game, from sitting on the porch drinking tea to looking in the mirror in the morning. These small interactions zoom into striking visuals, giving a finer look at the details in the scene, i.e. pixel art porn. And that's how the story is told, through all these little actions and points of view, and through seeing the world through the eyes of this main character who seems pretty average. The locals in this small town in the middle of nowhere have their own customs and mannerisms that you can learn over time, and these also influence your own actions. Seeing the story through small, tedious, tiny actions throughout the day is an intriguing way to experience a game, and one I have not seen done this well in quite some time. I got some... it's a slow, almost lazy feeling game where you just get the chance to relax and experience someone else's simple life through their own eyes. There isn't anything else to solve, just a world of experience. So it's a full-on simulation experience game, which, again, I like that, especially if it's about the pixel art. Okay. So I'm kind of disappointed that I missed it.
You drove.
Yeah, it's definitely what it is. It's pixel art porn. I'm loving this.
Wow, man.
Yeah, it's very well done. And then when it zooms in on stuff, you see it even more. Like, it's... I'm loving this. This would be an... Oh, smoking a cigarette, alright. This would be a really nice, relaxing game to play on stream sometime.
Alright. this is really nice for Bitcoin.
Yeah, dude. Oh, looks trippy. Yeah, no, it looks really good. That was nice. Yeah, I would definitely play that on stream sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just got kickstarted, so we won't see it too soon, but soon enough. And speaking of Kickstarter, we have one Kickstarter this week. I found one that I wanted to have a look at. So we're going to do that. That's our last thing for the night. Okay, here we go. All right. Rubi, the Wayward Mira. The 2D action platformer game teeming with lush pixels, featuring ability-based progression paired with RPG elements for PC and Switch. They're getting donations as we're speaking. They're looking for 15,647 Canadian. They are currently sitting at 10,824. 281 backers, 27 days to go. Let's watch this. Scott's gonna love this.
Possibly.
Female protagonist. Yup. Tell me you don't want to play this already. Oh boy. Oh, and of course that secret areas. Huh. Oh my god. You don't want to play this. What's Scott?
Yeah, I see it.
Does it look like something you'd like to play?
And you know, the thing that gets me is that, like, it looks so goddamn good. Just looks, and this is the thing that kills me, is like, these are the sort of games that don't make their Kickstarter. This sort of stuff. Like, some of the other things that we've gone through, we've been, man, it's damn good, and then I look back later and it's like, didn't make it.
I can't. They have 27 days to go to get another $5,000. I have a feeling they're going to get it. They're already 69% of the way there.
Please make this happen. This game looks so freaking, like, oh my god.
$20 US, 27 Canadian, gets you a copy.
Yeah. Just, oh my god, just everything about that looks so good.
Right? And that's why I said, like, this is what I want in my Kickstarters. I want something where we gush over, where we're just like, oh my god, we want to play this, hurry up and release. Estimated delivery, December 2020. Ooh. So they still have a full year of planning ahead. If that's what they have done already, is what they showed in their trailer.
Which platform did they say they wanted?
I'm pretty sure this is for PC, Steam, or whatever.
Okay.
I would imagine.
I mean, just I want this game.
Rubi is a Metroidvania at its core, but features non-linear gameplay, multiple play styles, and endings. Oh, yeah. So they say digital copy, so I assume it's PC or Steam, one or the other. Either way, Jesus. Oh, look at this. This one picture here, the big old statue thing. My God, it looks amazing. Alpha, Beta, and Gamma gamma particles are basic upgrades to your beam weapon, increasing range, damage, and charge. And you get this thing called a neutrino phase, where you can just like go through stuff. Yeah, bypass thin terrain, dodge incoming hazards, increase jump length. Wow.
Whoa.
Beam sword. Beam weapon gravitron. The slow moving projectile that deals damage over time can be activated a second time to dash to its current location. Oh my god. Oh man. Yeah, that's wow. Yeah, this is oh, here we go. Mira, Myth, Egna, Elias, and Gigan. French CIB Jan operative Elias and a small team respond to the scene first. Okay. Yeah, this looks fantastic. Anyways, so yeah, if you guys like the look of this game, if the trailer turned you on, then go and support them. They have plenty of different... Oh, God. 4 left. Okay. They have plenty of different rewards here. And again, $20 American, 27 Canadian will get you just a copy of the game and your name in the credits. So... Alright, Mr. Scott, that is it. We are done for this week.
Let's see, what game would we recommend for this week? Other than, like, dude, like... Now I'm gonna forget the name of it because the Shinobi Strider one.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Bushiden.
Crap. Yeah, Bushiden.
Yeah.
Definitely take a look at that. That's definitely my pick for because like
Metal Unit was also good. All 5 of those games were fantastic games, but I would say Bushiden, that was actually on the top of my list as well. So
yeah,
I wasn't surprised as soon as I seen it. It's like, my God, this is Shinobi Strider, and I was like, yeah. And then I see Metrovan, I was like, oh my God, I was like, Scott's gonna shit his pants over this too, and of course we did. So,
and definitely go over and give the Wayward Mira Kickstarter because this is. I think out of all the Kickstarters that we've ever done, this is one I'm the absolute most excited for. This is like, ooh, this looks so good. So I'm definitely keeping an eye on this. And it says it's going to be December of this year that we're going to get the game. So it's not like you all have that long to wait either.
Yep, that just means that it's a year that they're going to improve on it. So
all the more incentive to go over and drop a donate on them. So, yeah, thanks again for everybody who came to the live cast. We appreciate you guys. Again, I'd like to give my shout outs to my news outlets, VG247 and Destructoid.com.
And of course, I'll be giving thanks to Indie Retro News, to Destructoid, Indie Games Plus, and Kickstarter, and Steam, because, well, that's where we get all our games.
We will do our best to try to fix the Steam queue for next time, because if I'm going to go through all the effort and coming up with these interesting ways to kick off the Steam queue, we might as well at least have something worth looking at. What
was the Chinese not understandable for you, Scott?
Yeah.
I'm from China, but I'm not.
Okay.
Steam. Fix it. Anyways, we're gonna raid up Butt Neighbor. He's actually over there playing some Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. Apparently there's a bunch of bosses or something that was added, so apparently he's trying to get through all of them, so he's down to 33 bosses or so. That's a lot of work, so we'll throw a raid over to him. Have yourselves a good evening. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you again next week. Bye-bye.